So before we load the new heater into the chamber for the growth, we need to actually prepare our substrate. So to do that, we take whatever it is we're going to use. In this case, it's niobium doped strontium titanate, and we just put it in a beaker with a little bit of acetone, like so. And we put that in the ultrasonic bath here. So that was 5 minutes in acetone. We're now going to take it out the acetone. That's going to have removed any organic matter from the substrate, but we now need to remove the acetone that we've just put on. So we do that by taking it out and doing exactly the same thing. 5 minutes in the ultrasonic bath in IPA, isopropyl alcohol. Okay, so acetone's been washed off in IPA. We now need to wash off the IPA, which we're going to do using deionized water. So, alright, the IPA is off. Final step, we just need to get rid of the water. So, come over here and we just dry it with nitrogen gas. I've got my clean substrate. I now need to stick that to the heater, ready to be loaded in. The heater sits horizontal in the chamber, so it needs to be quite well stuck, otherwise it falls off during the growth and you've just wasted several hours. So the way we stick it is with silver paste, and we just put a little dot on the heater, put the substrate on there, and then we heat it to 80 degrees quite slowly in order to set the silver paste, and then we should be good to go. Okay, so the silver paste has set, so now we just need to load in our target and then the heater itself, and then we're going to pump it down, ready to grow the film. Now the actual position of the target matters quite a lot, because the laser is going to come through here and it's going to be focused at a very particular point. So if the target's mounted too far one way or too far another, it really makes a difference. Like so. And then we can check to see if it's gone in properly. We should have a nice even gap down the edge here. So it should be nice and even down here. And I think that's okay there. So the first step is to what we call rough pump the chamber. And we do that like so. First of all, we open this bypass, and then we close this valve down here. And this is the valve connecting the turbo pump to the rotary pump down here, so we know where it's going to go through there. Then we open this valve, which is connecting the chamber through to this pump here, and then we open this one finally. We should see the pressure drop on here. Okay, so we're now at 5 times 10 to the minus 2, just below. So it's now safe to engage the turbo pump. Now to do that, we have to do a couple of things first, otherwise things will go horribly, horribly wrong. First thing we need to do is close this valve here, and that's going to stop that from happening. So that's nice and tight. We then close this valve, again connecting the chamber to the rotary pump there. We open this one, which allows the turbo pump to connect in series to this pump here, and then we very slowly open the gate valve. And as we do that, we're going to keep an eye on the pressure here, which shouldn't jump up too quickly. So again, we just do it a quarter turn back the other way, and then you're good. Wait for a couple of hours, and you'll reach 10 to the minus 6 torque. Leave it overnight, and you'll reach 10 to the minus 7. Okay, so it's an hour and a half later. The chamber is now at 10 to the minus 6 torque, and we can see that from the penning gauge. here. So it's time to start preparing the deposition conditions as we actually want them. So for the growth I'm doing today, I want 750 degrees C, and I want an oxygen flow to give me 0.13 millibar of oxygen during the growth. So I'm going to start by setting the heater, heating up to 750 degrees C, because that takes the longest time, and then we'll go from there. This controls the heater, and I just hit start, and this is a pre-programmed routine, and it's going to take us up to 750 degrees C. So next step then, I'm going to switch the bypass to vertical, and now we're going to close the gate valve to stop too much going through the filter. We don't do this too tight at this stage, because we do want some gas to flow through, just not too much. So we just keep going until we kind of meet a bit of pressure, a bit of resistance, and we'll stop there. So now we need to say what flow rate we actually want. So that's done from the mass flow controller around here. The oxygen cylinder, kept nice and safe in here, and we just switch it on at the top there. We'll hear a little hiss, and open again there, and you can see we have some gas pressure. That's all good. And now, final step, I'm going to open this. That is going to send the pressure rising on here, and we're also going to see some change here. So if I open this, you'll see this number here starts to increase, and you'll see some changes around there. I've got that kind of a little bit open, but not very much. It's just starting to, the pressure's just starting to creep up. And we'll keep an eye on that, keep adjusting it until we reach the value we want. Okay, so the laser has finished warming up. So now we need to work out how much energy we want it to give us for this particular growth. So we do that, we have photo detector here, and we just stick that in the way of the laser beam. This is all interlock, which means that when we fire the laser, no one's going to get blinded by it, and if anyone opens the door, then the laser will shut off automatically. So it's all a really safe setup. So because we can fire this into any one of these four chambers, we need to first set a few mirrors in place to make sure that we're firing into the right one at this point. Move that into place down there. Lock it in, there's a little mark on there that shows you where it needs to be. And then we're all good. So now we need to set the laser. This can be triggered internally or externally, and today we want internal. So your trigger, and then internal, enter. We want repetition rate, this is how the frequency that the laser fires at. And I want 3 Hertz. And then I'm going to just say run, enter, and execute, and then the laser should fire. And you can see it striking the detector there, and it's giving us 99 millijoules. Okay, so we've got the laser set to the energy we need. The substrate is up to a high temperature. You can actually see that. From looking in there, it's actually glowing red now. You can see from the monitor at 750 degrees. I've got the oxygen pressure is where I want. So we can start the growth. But before we do that, we're going to what's called pre-ablate the target. So this effectively cleans kind of the surface of the target so that we know we're getting a very pure material when we actually do the growth. So first thing is to close the shutter. And this just blocks any material from actually growing on the substrate at this point. So that just closes like that. And now I'm going to set the target itself rotating. So this stops, rather than having the laser just fire continuously at the same point, and eventually kind of overheating and damaging that point. We keep it rotating so we get a nice even distribution throughout. So that's just down there like so, and you can see it's spinning. It's just a simple motor. So now I just hit fire on the laser again. And you should see we strike the target.